For the country, it was the best of times and it was the worst of times. In the meantime, the stock market rolls on. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard and to Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday at US 30 Drag Strip. It is Sunday, and it is May the 31st. My goodness gracious, we're into June. And another new month is starting. And of course, as we'll get to later in the markets finished with an explosion and had a hell of a big month. But I guess obviously the first thing is the sadness and the tragedy that it started in Minneapolis is in spreading through the country right now with the rioting and the looting and things that don't do anybody any good. But again, I think that the cops should have all been arrested right away. I'm not quite sure what they were waiting for, and of course that is a problem, as we know, that we all saw the video, or maybe you didn't, but of course we know that they were wrong and they should be held accountable. But I do believe that what we're seeing now is more something that is orchestrated by somebody. You can imagine who I'm thinking. I'm not going to say it, but you can imagine who I'm thinking, who's orchestrating this, because again, of course, this is just another attempt in trying to create doubt of who is in charge and who is the president and who should be the president of the United States. But the events are a major tragedy, and of course, obviously, human life should not be lost. And of course, the way that this had happened in Minneapolis is a terrible tragedy. And again, I do believe that these police should have been arrested immediately, and of course charged. I don't think that we can tolerate that kind of treatment as officers. Again, I'm a big believer in our first responders, and of course police in this case should have a little bit more leeway. But when you intentionally inflict or actually cause the death of somebody, but again, some things are not acceptable in this country, and I think obviously these were not acceptable, and we need to be better than that. And that's really what it comes down to. And of course, the looting that's going out throughout the country. I mean, just this morning in Chicago, actually not even Chicago, in the suburb where I am from, okay, they are shutting down all the Walgreens until at least 8 o'clock this morning. And I think that obviously they're afraid of the looting. They've already ripped up a few of the stores. But this, again, does nobody any good. This is more orchestrated. And I do not believe that Colin Kaepernick did any favors to anybody by offering to pay the legal bills for the protesters. Again, to me, this sounds like this is more of a setup to continue. Yes, there's the tragedy should be protested. Yes, there needs to be justice brought in. But again, the looting and the burning and the tearing things down does nobody any good. And certainly for those who really care about what the next steps, you do not create credibility by burning down stores and causing major financial damage. All that really does is make you look like an idiot and like a jackass instead of having a normal protest. We have seen this for many times over the years, and violence does not win. Okay, again, more of my opinion, but again, I've never seen or been in involved or seen at a time where the violence went out. Okay, with the exception of wars in which the Revolutionary War, but again, that was obviously over laws and things like that. In the meantime, obviously, our prayers go out to the family, and And of course, I think we have to worry about the other families now that are being attacked, that are just totally innocent, that have nothing to do with any of this, yet they're in danger. The problem. Okay. However, as we get to a good note, okay, we had the SpaceX rocket launch scheduled for Wednesday, but finally yesterday, Saturday, it went off, and it was really cool, and it reminds you of what America can be and what a great country that we do have, and very exciting to watch it in the technology. Elon Musk, you can love him or hate him. He is a little bit of a nut, but geez Louise, what a smart guy, and boy, did they have a great launch, and again, very exciting, and everything happened as it should have. So again, let's celebrate the great news and things that had happened. But as we look into, the economy starting to reopen, well, I mean, it's good. I was actually able to go out to dinner last night. Of course, we had to sit outside. Governor Pritzker, the jackass that he is, okay, only can go outside right now, okay. A little chilly, right? It's only 68 degrees without without the sun. But it was nice to get out, and it was nice to go ahead and spend another $125 for dinner, for three. But again, look, it's nice to see things starting to go. Now, we are not going to get back into full operation for a long time. And, that makes you wonder, are the markets ahead of themselves? But it is good to get things going in the right direction. And of course, I think one of the problems that are there, obviously, is the states, that are refusing to give more freedom and more open space and opening more businesses. They happen to be states on the left. And it's interesting, 41 of 44 districts, okay, with the most COVID deaths, okay, are from the left. What does that say? Again, I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying, what does that say, okay, of where we are? You've seen what's going on in New York and in California and Illinois, three of the highest tax states, three states that are blindly left automatically every election. So again, we'll see. I'm not saying, I'm just saying, okay. But again, the economy is starting to open, so that is good news. And of course, we need to get people back to work. We need to quit with the stimulus plans, okay? You have too much anger and too much other things going on in this country that are being again perpetrated in order to try to win an election. Now, again, that is things we'll talk a little bit about this in our commentary later. But I don't know. Again, whose lap is Joe Biden going to sit on? Okay, that's going to actually really pull the strings, because that man ain't got a clue. Okay, he may not know where he's at from any moment. Okay, so again, if that's the best candidate they can bring to the party, a 3-time loser, okay, that's pretty sad. Okay, but again, I think we have things that are happening here that are just ugly, and we need again to move forward and try to bring out the good in the country and get us up and rolling again. Okay, in the meanwhile, okay, remote working is going to be something, again, this remote employment is not something new. IBM has been doing it for at least 15 years, at least 1 or 2 days a week. Medline, a place where my daughter works, okay, which has been around. They are a huge supplier of medical supplies. They have been doing it for many, many years. So this is not new. I think what you saw happen here is many companies learned that they can actually do it, and it actually saves money. But I think it has an opportunity to be a big boom for the housing market again, away from the cities. we go through cycles in housing, and everybody wants to be in the city, and then now everybody wants to be outside the city, which opened up all these suburbs farther and farther away from the downtown areas. And I think you might see that again because, of course, the farther you go away from the city, the least expensive housing is. And, of course, then the housing becomes, you get more home, more bang for your housing dollar. Tie that in with low interest rates and working from home. You might see a little bit of a boom in the housing market, especially the outskirts of places, because, again, now that many of you will be working from home a majority of time, it could be very good for that period, okay? And it can be very good for them, the home builders out in those areas, because, again, you can get more bang for your buck, okay? So again, it makes living out there another potential possibility. Of course, we do have mortgage delinquencies that continue to increase because of the lack of jobs, because of the lack of working. Because again, even as we get open, even as the economy tries to recover, we are not getting back to full service for years, okay? I mean, until there's a real vaccine in which they can control it, the COVID, you're going to continue to see slow growth as we see how do the cases spike again, they come down, and does it turn out to be what I really think it is, more of something like the flu, and we start to build up some immunity ourselves, or does it respike and we have to really shut down? Now, again, I don't think we should ever really shut down again. I think that was, as I said from the beginning, I said a 2-week shutdown was all I would want to see. But of course, now in Illinois, we're going to be going on 10 weeks and longer. Okay. So again, to me, that is not the right way to go. To me, that does not do anything else good for you. Okay. I think that creates a bigger problem. But again, you have to, at some point, weigh the cost of the disease versus the human cost that you're losing either to, suicide, to whatever other, more drug abuse, more alcohol abuse. There's a lot of things that happen when you get locked down, okay, and you can't go anywhere, okay? You can get in more trouble when those situations occur. But I think one big topic, okay, is the Federal Reserve, and of course, they are de facto trying to rewrite the Constitution, okay, and I think that's a problem. I do believe that all the stimulus is a joke. I think we are far outreached and outstepped where they should be. I do not think that this is beneficial in the long run. I think it's very sad for future generations. Okay, again, for me, I'll be dead when it all starts to really hit the fan. But this monetary policy that was created, and of course, it was 1913 when the Jekyll Island, the creatures of Jekyll Island, or whatever they are, built this thing, which was really more of a Ponzi scheme that they could benefit from. Okay, I think it's going to create a much bigger mess and a much bigger problem down the road. It is not helping anything right now. It's artificially pumping up markets. It's artificially doing everything. But in the meantime, who's going to end up paying for everything that they're doing now. Just take a look in the mirror if you're not sure of the person that will be paying for it. You're one of them. Okay. So in the meantime, I think there's a lot of problems here. I think we've got more issues than we're dealing with, and I'm talking about more than obviously the tragedy in Minneapolis. I'm talking more than COVID. There are so many things going on here that need to be rectified. But again, that's a lot what hatred will bring for you. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. I am Todd Bubba Horwitz, and of course, yesterday we had a great webinar on our equity portfolio management, which I won't even put out the numbers right now. They're up so obscene. Now, again, we know there's a drawdown coming. But in the meantime, We will no longer be offering those products after June 1st, which is, tomorrow. Okay. So if you have any interest, you want to hear the video, you want to get involved, send me an email, bubba@bubbatraining.com. If not, hey, no worries. Okay. Again, we're well loaded and are going to be closing down the membership for that. And of course, don't forget about our brand new commodities report, Technomental, written by Andy Hecht, traveled worldwide dealing in commodities, #1 writer for Alpha, Seeking Alpha, top silver trader in the world at one time. Greatest report there is in the commodity space if you trade any of commodities. And of course, that can be yours for $100 a month or $800 annually. And again, just a phenomenal report. Just go to bubbatrading.com and look it up, Technomental, or just go ahead and email me. I'll help you out. And of course, don't forget about our brokerage partners who are also phenomenal. Okay. CTG for commodities and futures. Again, letter of direction trading, they're phenomenal. They answer the phone. They take your questions. There is no voicemail crap. Okay. And of course, they do a great job for us. We highly, obviously recommend them. And then Tradier for brokerage. Again, phenomenal at what they do. Okay. They take your calls. They help you out. $10 a month flat. How can you beat it? In the meantime, if you need any help with those two, please just email me at bubba@bubbatraining.com. I'll send you their links. And if not, hey, listen, any broker you use is fine. We don't care. We want you to be happy. We want you to be successful. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line with me, Todd Bubba Horowitz, and we'll continue on with what's going on in the market. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line, and I, of course, am Todd Bubba Horowitz. And wow, what a market. Again, do I agree with it? Personally, no, I do not. I mean, markets exploded last month. Okay. Am I in agreement with the action? Personally, no. But again, we don't fight the markets. Okay. Our algorithm has been long the entire month. Okay. We have been long. Basically, we have been long the futures in S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, and the Russell since March 18th for the S&P, March 25th for the Dow, March 28th for the Russell, I believe, and April 7th for the NASDAQ futures. We have not changed since then. We remain long, and again, I don't know when it's going to change. I am not going to try to predict when it's going to change, okay? All I know is that we're long. We will stay there until that changes. And, last week there were some scary mornings where it looked like the world might be coming to an end, but each and every day it managed to fight its way back and make some dramatic moves. So, again, I go back to you and I just say, why would you want to fight it? Okay. So, in the meantime, gold was gold and platinum were actually but they did hold. So that was fine. Okay. They were down a little bit. It had some nice moves up, but I think more importantly, they had some great recoveries from key levels. Silver is kind of off to the races now. So let's see what this week will bring for silver. But again, we're long them all. Okay. Anyways, so let's see where they go from here. Again, we like them. They look good. Again, gold is very close, but overall, they all look good. So let's see what that brings to us. And of course, oil, crude, we are also long, and crude is up now 4 weeks in a row. Okay, looks better. Now again, I think it's probably getting a little frothy, and I think probably look at the 35 level is where probably some pretty solid resistance comes in. Again, I'm not going to do anything until my signal changes, right? So we're long. Okay, and again, I don't get in the way of the signal. What I can do day to day is nothing to do with the signal because I'm using the charts and the price action during that day, because at the end of the day, all we care about is price. Okay. The dollar broke down. Now, we've been short dollars for quite a while, but they did break down. Finally, they got down to that 99. Remember, it was 99, 101, 99, 101. Now it's 98. Okay. So 98 is going to be a pretty key level, but it doesn't hold. And if it breaks down, it could go a lot farther. Remember, we started buying dollars at 88 cents. Now they're 98. So, and that's a lot of dough. In the meantime, again, we're short. We'll stay short, and of course, copper, okay, is long, and it's been fine. Choppy. We're short natural gas, continues to go a little bit lower. The bond markets continue in that torturous congestion pattern, okay, going nowhere. Now they are very close to potentially breaking down. Now we're still long, okay, but they're at a key level that could create a major breakdown from here. Now that would mean that rates are going to go higher, and I don't know that I believe rates are going to go so much higher yet. Now again, remember, the Fed can set the Fed funding rate and whatever they're going to do, but the bond market and the fixed income market can force rates higher. So we'll see. But based on everything that's going on, you would suspect that the bond and note futures would rally from here and not get totally collapsed or fall apart. Okay. So again, we look, and again, we don't change until we get a reason to change. And right now we have no reason. You take a look at the meats. We're still long the meats, cattle, hogs, and actually fat. It's live cattle or fat cattle, feeder cattle, okay, and of course hogs. We are long across the board, and of course they've been working very nicely. Although there's been a little bit of pullbacks to some support levels, but overall they look pretty damn good, and they look like they want to go higher. And certainly the opening of the economy will not hurt them. And hogs, yeah, they look good, then they don't look good. They look good. So, I mean, they're down at a pretty key level. I mean, if they don't start to rally from here, they'll probably change back to the short side. And grains did look a little better last week. Okay. We're still short. Again, you know that I'm chomping at the bit to turn around and get long these grains. But for now, we're still short, and we're not going to, again, we're not going to fight it. Okay, I'm waiting, but that will change. The good news is that the overall picture that they will eventually become a buy, and we will be joining in, okay, to get there. Okay, and so that myself will tell me that we're going to be, fine, and we will be able to get in. But again, as I say all the time, I'm not going to outguess the algorithm. I mean, anything that hits 66% on a regular basis, why would I want to think that I was smarter? So we're in a pretty solid position. We continue to make new highs in many of our portfolios. Very exciting and very good for, obviously, our members. And of course, what do we expect? Well, again, is it sell in May and go away? Certainly, you had a big rally to sell into. Of course, we're not advocating everything. We are not believers in sell in May and going away. We're not believers in any of the stuff that goes out there. But we're big believers in this price action. Now, again, we're going to have coming up in a month, the next earnings season. But we go back to that market expectations versus reality. Now, again, remember, we've already priced in a lot of really, really bad news. Okay, so anything better could be a mover. Now, the unemployment numbers are brutal, but again, they're pretty much priced in. So we're going to really see what we do from here and where we go. Again, I see no reason to fight or get in the way of what the markets are doing right now. I think you just stay the course and do what it is you do. And if you're following our algorithms, then there's really no decision. You have your trades on. We haven't made any new trades really for a long time, and we'll continue to stay there. I see no reason to do anything else. You've got, no reason to fight whatever's going on right now. And of course, that is what you're seeing. So we say, hey, go with the flow. Okay. In the meanwhile, you've got markets that, there doesn't have to be a logical reason. Anytime you think that you can forecast out because of something, you're making a big mistake. Okay. You cannot trade the news. Remember, trading is about the probability model of what it looks like and where it's headed now. And when you're trend trading, you stay with the trend until the trend is no longer there. It's that simple. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. Todd Bubba Horwitz. We're going to stop out here for a break, and we will be right back with my commentary after the break, right here on Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, May the 31st. So kids, again, yesterday we did a great webinar on our equity portfolio management. You want to check it out? All you got to do is shoot me an email at bubba@bubbatrading.com. Tomorrow, June 1st, we close membership at midnight on June 1st. There will be no more new members. It will come off the website because, again, we're full up. And, again, we're very comfortable with how many members we have now. So this is your last opportunity. If you'd like, you can get that recording. In the meantime, don't forget about our Technomental Commodities Report, which is written by Andy Hecht, the #1 writer at Seeking Alpha, also at one point in time the largest silver trader in the world. But, of course, the man's traveled the globe, to places you and I wouldn't want to go to, dealing in the commodity space. Got a great read on it. He got his monthly coming out and quarterly. I mean, just unbelievable stuff. You want to check it out? $100 a month, $800 a year. All you got to do is go to bubbatrading.com. And, of course, don't forget about our brokerage partners, CTG for equities. CTG for futures and commodities. Again, they do all of our letter direction trading, and they are excellent. They have great service, great customer service. They do their thing. They handle our people, and they couldn't handle them any better. We get so many compliments, so it's great to have them aboard. And, of course, for equities, there's nothing like Tradier, who, again, first of all, $10 a month flat. That's the first thing you need to know. Second thing you know is that they're great with customer service. They work with us. They work with our people. And our hedging software does work. And some of our new stuff that will be coming out that will be more automated works with the Tradier API. So, again, you want any information on them, just email me at bubba@bubbatrading.com. In the meantime, don't forget about our high school program. Again, we're rebuilding everything for the next school year. I'd love to have your help if you can. And all you have to do is go to Patreon, patreon.com/Bubba Trading. That's patreon.com/Bubba Trading. Now, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and my commentary. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Todd Bubba Horowitz. It is Sunday, May the 31st. And, of course, obviously the hatred in this country has been accelerated. And again, it's really been accelerated by the socialist left, that has created more of this hatred. And you know who's behind that. The big money people are behind this socialist left movement. You know the names. I don't have to name them here, but you know who they are. And I'm telling you that some of these protesters are being paid to do what it is they're doing right now in Minneapolis, which is just a major tragedy of what's happening in Minneapolis and all over the country. But some of them are being paid, and that is not healthy. But I really want to ask the question. We all know that half of you, or whatever percentage of you, hate the current president, don't like the current president. But I want to know what happened to respect for the office of the president. As much as I had disdain for Barack Obama, the carny huckster, and others in history, I never remember having this type of either attack or manipulation trying to get people to rebel against the president. And I think my question is Washington, D.C., Congress, do you have that much to lose of these bad deals you've made and the money you're getting paid underneath the table that you want to make sure that everybody hates this president? It appears to me this president, you may not like what's going on with the China deal. You might not like that he broke down the NAFTA deal. You might not like some of the things, but I think what you're going to find out is that what he's really done is one of the things he said in his campaign was that he was going to drain the swamp. And I think these deals that he has reversed or changed or walked out of have helped draining the swamp. Because, again, those deals were made with not your best interest or my best interest, but with the best interest of whose pockets were going to get lined, very much similar to the Hunter Biden story. Now, again, I'm not even get into that. I don't care. What's done is done, but we need to move forward. And I don't think we're moving forward. And again, if you look, what has Congress, and even if you're on the left and you hate Trump, what has your Congress done in 3.5 years? they did come up with a couple of bills, the latest, so they can support the pot companies and illegals. Okay, if that's really what you want, okay, what am I going to say? It's a free country. But America is great. Okay, and again, we are going through a rough time, but we are great, and we will come out of this. But we've got to end the hatred, and we've got to end the trying to manipulate for power versus trying to build the country as one, because that's really what we were designed to do. And let's celebrate the launch of SpaceX. And you all have a great weekend and a great day and a great week. And as always, I thank you for joining me right here on Bubba's Bottom Line. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll see you later.